Good afternoon. This is Damian David with Healthcare Triangle. Welcome back to Week in Review. It's episode 38, April 2nd, 2021. To some of us, it's Good Friday. To everybody, it's the day after April Fools. I love April Fools. It's one of my favorite national and international holidays. I think the people around me might not appreciate it as much as I do. I know my kids get a little bit tired around noonish of April Fools. But anyway, I had a lot of fun this year. I hope you did too. As you can tell, I still have the coronavirus hairdo. I'm still growing it, if you will. I am playing some hockey, though, in an adult league, and we are into our playoffs. We're actually doing pretty good. I might, like some other of my teammates, transform this flow into a mullet for a week or two. And if I do, I'll be sure to record another Week in Review so I get to share that with you folks that return. And then I'll have a regular haircut after we win the championships. But all right, so here we go. Let's get into headlines. Like I do usually, I'll do the headlines, and then I'm going to jump to a conversation I had with my colleague, Kelly Zeiner, a Meditech expert, especially around ambulatory and how it interplays with ambulatory and acute. She's going to help us kick off another Field Notes webinar. We did those regularly up until about the time that COVID happened, and then we put those on pause and we delayed doing them. We're going to kick them back up again. Going to have a different topic every month and a half or so for the folks that want to spend a half an hour with us to get more information on a certain topic that we decided to cover. Traditionally, it's been about Meditech Expanse. This one will be about Meditech Expanse too. I'll talk to Kelly in the conversation. She'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek or a glimpse of what's to come with this next Field Notes, and then we hope to keep continuing to do them again every month and a half or so for the folks that want to gain more information about EHRs and technologies that healthcare can utilize in their day-to-day basis. All right, and then I'll leave you with a little bit of music, something I recorded for a colleague of mine. He actually requested that I do it for last April Fools. I was a little bit under the weather at the beginning of COVID here, so I did not get it done for last year. I remembered, though, and I surprised him this year with it. So I'll leave you with that. It's not too long, along with some visions of the vaccines and the vaccination efforts that have been happening over the past couple of weeks here in the world of coronavirus COVID. So let's get to the headlines. Here we go. April 2nd, 2021, for the past week. CDC real-world study confirms protective benefits of the mRNA COVID-19 vaccines. Okay, they've confirmed it. So it takes about 2 weeks or so after the final dose of the vaccine for the body to build up antibodies. And it's also considered that you've been partially vaccinated 2 weeks after the initial dose as well. Next headline, FDA makes revision to Moderna Vaccine to allow for 15 doses per vial, whereas before it was just 10 or 11 doses that they could distribute and deploy per vial. This just allows them to get more doses out into the population. So there you go. We'll have more doses instantly, just from an update on the approval for the Moderna vaccine. Let's get to a topic that I've heard recently. It has to do with vaccines. It has to do with certain threshold that they think that after a certain number of the population gets the vaccine, that they'll see the pandemic go away. All right. All of a sudden, it will just go away and life will return back to normal. This is called herd immunity. That's the theory. The idea is that 60 to 70% of the population needs to get vaccinated, and then just because that number gets hit for those that are vaccinated and immunized against COVID, that the pandemic will just go away. But I'll remind you, that's just a theory. And actually, there's a lot of experts that think it's a crap theory, right? That it's not true. There's no findings to say that once you've had the vaccine, that you can't actually transmit to people that aren't vaccinated. So be careful. If you get the vaccine, don't just return to normal what you did pre-pandemic. Consider masking up continuously anyway for the folks in the population that you're going to interact with that haven't been vaccinated. Okay? Please continue your diligence. Please continue to practice social distancing and be protective of other folks in your community. even though you've been immunized, doesn't mean that you can't give it and spread it to other people. So let's be careful for a little while longer and make sure that our community stays strong and healthy. This week, Fauci says, and hopefully, if you want to make this a metaphorical race, the vaccine is going to win this one. He feels that a surge of vaccinations will help keep the fourth variant at bay that we forecast that's going to hit. Okay, so to vaccine or not, I guess that's the question, right? So I don't know. It's up to the decision is everybody's personally to make. I've gone ahead and made it. I'm 1 dose in, so my next dose is in another week and a half. I've made that decision, and I will be vaccinated in another month. So there you go. COVID stats, let's get to them. World confirmed cases of COVID-19 are up to now to 130 million cases throughout the world, up from 116 million cases 3 to 4 weeks ago, last time I was able to do a week in review. Of that, 73.5 million people have recovered from COVID-19, up from 65.4 million. And of that, 2.83 million deaths throughout the world COVID-19 related, up from 2.57 million deaths 3 to 4 weeks ago. If we narrow that into just the U.S. border, confirmed cases are up to 30.6 million cases in the U.S., up from 28.9 million cases 3 to 4 weeks ago. And in the U.S., we've seen 553,000 deaths that are COVID related, up from 520,000 deaths 3 to 4 weeks from now. Okay, there you have it. Let's transition now to Kelly Zeiner and what's to come for our next Field Notes webinar. Good afternoon, Kelly. Good to see you. How's everything going?
Doing well, Damien. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I'm pretty sure I have better weather than you today. It's like 50 something and sunny, even though we were supposed to be 20 and snowy. So I'll take it. Yeah. Hopefully you'll hang in there with your, I don't know what you call it. It's kind of, it sounds depressing to me. I hope you're keeping your spirits up though. So, hey, you know, in spite of all that we've seen over the past 12, 14 months now, COVID delayed a lot of different projects over the past year plus with a lot of the folks that we deal with on a regular basis. But, you know, in spite of that, there actually has been a lot of progress as well. So just as an example, Meditech, they continue to add some functionality features, some benefit to their Meditech Expanse platform, adding some cool options for physicians and providers to be able to utilize. I heard that you were going to be back in doing and kicking up the Field Notes sessions, which are about 20, 30 minutes of online. A lot of times they're live, sometimes they're canned. I'm not sure how we're going to do it this time around. It might be live. But anyway, I heard you were going to kick that up again in April, highlighting some of the new features to consider adding to your EHR diet. So why don't you give me the rundown? What's that going to be about? What are you going to be focusing in on? What can they expect?
Yeah, thanks, Damien. So basically, I'm going to just do a quick, probably 20-minute recap of some of the enhancements that Meditech's come out with that I typically see clients may not have implemented, either because of lack of knowing that they're out there or understanding or time. So just some of the top, 5 to 10 enhancements that I've seen really help customers that I find that is lacking in implementation and actually, implementing the enhancement. So for example, one that I find is very helpful that oftentimes when I am checking out a customer, they haven't implemented is the ability to automatically send a CC document to a provider through workload. Whereas before it was kind of a manual process for the providers to remember to copy the primary care provider when they were seeing the patient to make sure that the primary care provider got a copy of the specialist notes. Now that can be all fully automated. So kind of diving into things like that I really hope that customers will take advantage of.
Excellent. So you're basically helping our clients and other folks out there buy some time back for their providers and make sure that there's no gaps in the information as they're treating patients throughout the whole continuum of care. So that's great. I'm looking forward to doing them again. I know we used to try to do a handful of them at least every year. So hopefully this will be the first of what's to come back around for the field notes. I look forward to it. Yeah, if anybody has any questions or have any good ideas for other future ones, again, we want to kind of stock the calendar full this year and do maybe 5 or 6 throughout the year. So, Kelly, thanks for kicking it back up again for us, and look forward to doing that. Probably I think, what are we starting the second week of April? So, gives us a little bit of time here for people to prepare. We should probably start to market it and get the word out of when it's going to be in the next week or so. So be on the lookout for that. Again, thanks so much, Kelly. I'll talk to you later. Before I let you go, hot seat question, as I do with everybody on these. We answered a couple already so far, so I'm not going to bother you with the ones that I've already asked you. But the new one is, so tell me your coolest COVID impulse buy that you've made, and how did you buy it?
I don't know if it was impulse, but we actually are buying a new couch because being home all day and looking at our old couch is just driving me nuts. So it really wasn't an impulse. It was a long, drawn out thing, but it has been a year now that we've had to contemplate this. So I would say our new couch that we're going to buy is our biggest purchase. And
Nice.
if I wasn't home so much staring at it, I probably wouldn't have made that decision. So that definitely was part of COVID for sure.
Are you getting it delivered, or how's that work? We
Yeah.
just bought something for our porch, and they actually delivered. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's like probably a 4-week turnaround though. So it's nothing too fast, but or not 4 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks turnaround. So
Oh, I got you. Are you having it made?
almost 4 months. Yeah, yeah.
Nice. Well, good.
So
Well, hey, hopefully you'll enjoy that, and hopefully you won't have to be in the house for too much longer. So good to see you. And yeah, again, looking back, I keep saying this. Sometime we're gonna get the whole band back together at some point, and you get to see each other face to face. But hasn't happened yet since the start of it. So I still keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully, 2021 we'll be able to all get together. So I look forward to that.
I hope so.
Well, Kelly, thanks so much. Stay safe, and we'll talk to you later. Okay.
Thanks, Damien. My pleasure. Bye.
Bye. Thanks again, Kelly. Appreciate you getting on here with me once again. I look forward to the webinar. Again, hoping to do that either the end of April or the beginning of May. More to come on that. If you're interested, reach out to me either through LinkedIn or through my email. That's in the description and notes for this week in review, and I will be sure to put you on the list to promote that webinar, the Healthcare Triangle Field Notes webinar. Let's call it the week, if you will. Let's get on to our weekends. I hope everybody has a wonderful and safe weekend. If you celebrate Easter, happy Easter to you. I hope that everybody finds the Easter eggs that have been hidden for them. I hope you have good weather to enjoy. Let's catch up the next time. Take care. Hope to see you soon.